Greetings nerdy list aficionados, it's alternate versions time once more, your favorite time, and I'm really excited for this because it's vampire time. Creatures of the night, fighting crime. Sometimes. I'm Sasha and this is the top 10 alternate versions of superheroes who are vampires. It's a mouthful. And no, they're not all Batman, but you know, some of them are. Yes, I said some. Let's do this. Number 10. Justice League Gods and Monsters. Batman. Starting right off with him. So this was a DC original animated movie and an original concept released in 2015. It did have a tie-in comic and web series, but was ultimately a standalone film. It focuses on a darker version of the Trinity. This Batman is Kirk Langstrom, who is Man-Bat in the main universe. In this universe, he developed vampire-like abilities after he consumed a serum to cure his cancer, which backfires, as serums in comic books tend to do. This leaves him a vampire. He teams up with the Superman of this universe who takes him in and helps him curb his vampiric tendencies. Somewhat. He's a dark Batman who sometimes feeds on his villains.
Go on, take me to jail, copper.
Jail?
He's taken the whole rumor that the Dark Knight is a vampire to a literal level. Number 9. Wolverine, Lord of Vampires. This version of Wolverine comes to us from Marvel's What If line, essentially their version of Elseworld stories, only more focused around a specific storyline concept. They ask the question, what if certain events in the main universe had unfolded just a little bit differently? This comic was released in 1991, and existed in a world where Storm was fully turned into a vampire by Dracula, and she turns all of the X-Men, hoping to make them her vampire minions. However, because of Wolverine's healing factor, it doesn't work on him. He turns, but manages to retain his mind, and is able to learn to control himself. He even drinks Dracula's blood and becomes the new Lord of Vampires. He then proceeds to try and take over the city, and well, you know, he's not a good vampire, but he was a hero who was a vampire, so it counts. I just love the panel of him feeding on Jean in her Phoenix outfit. It's so 1940s pulp novel. He was also briefly turned by Dracula in the main Earth, the 616 universe, but to be frank, that wasn't as cool. Number 8. Vampire Avengers, The Exiles. We're talking about the first one of the Exiles here, the one which began in 2001. The Exiles focused on a group of mostly X-Men characters who come unstuck from their dimensions and times, and they must travel across other dimensions righting wrongs and preserving timelines, and also dimensional integrity at the behest of mysterious masters. But all was not as it appeared. So of course, as you can imagine, these comics were rife with alternate versions. One of them was Vampire Captain America from Earth 3931. Actually, this universe had an all-Vampire Avengers team. They were, of course, bad. They were all turned by Captain America, who was turned by Baron Blood. This team was ultimately defeated by the Exiles, sadly. I would have been down for a world ruled by Cap, Lord of Vampires. Still way better than Hydra Cap. Hail Hydra. Number 7. Bloodstorm, Mutant X. Bloodstorm is an alternate universe version of Storm, bitten and turned by Dracula. Dracula is just turning everyone. This is also a branch out from the Uncanny X-Men storyline, just like the What If story that we talked about earlier. This Storm quit the X-Men to try and contain her bloodlust, though she would ultimately form her own team, and kinda kept her vampiric needs in check. Sort of. She kept feeding on Kitty and turned Gambit. Eventually, in this universe, a serum was derived to make vampirism more palatable. It curbed the bloodlust and let them walk in daylight. In short, cheating. And as a result, Bloodstorm was able to transition much easier into being an anti-hero. Number 6. Superman. Kinda. So this occurs in World's Finest number 249 in 1978. This was the Batman-Superman team-up comic, and definitely the best part about Vampire Superman is that he is called the Vampire of Steel, and is listed as a co-star. When Superman attempts to help clean up an oil spill, he is attacked by a Trilling, a marine vampire, and being completely susceptible to magic, he's down for the count and turns into a vampire. The best part, the Phantom Stranger shows up to help Batman find a cure, but Bats is full on prepared to stake him, loudly proclaiming, "May the universe forgive me," before the Phantom Stranger comes through with a cure and has to literally pull the stake from his hands. Someone just needs to keep pointy sticks away from Batman when it comes to Clark. He can't help himself. Number 5. Black Widow, Avengers Assemble. So Avengers Assemble was a cartoon that began in 2013 and has a newer iteration that is ongoing. But for our purposes, we need season 1, which was also the most comic booky and fanficky of the seasons. If it was tropey, they probably did it. And that involved Black Widow being turned into a vampire by Dracula, which means she turns on the team, is able to defeat them with her vampire abilities, but ultimately succumbs to a traditional vampire weakness. No, it's not sunlight. not the lust for blood. She runs straight into a mirror and knocks herself out because she can't see her own reflection. The series was fun. Number 4. Nerd Hulk, the Vampire King, from Earth 1610, the Ultimates universe. So the Nerd Hulk is a clone of the actual Hulk created by Tony Stark's brother Gregory. This Hulk is always able to maintain his intelligence when in Hulk form, hence the term nerd. They're applying the older etymology, not the newer one. This Hulk was ultimately turned into a vampire by a mysterious vampire going by the name Anthony, who also turned Stick and Daredevil. However, Nerd Hulk eventually killed his master and took over as vampire leader. He came up with plans to attempt to turn the Avengers. However, Nerd Hulk Vampire King was killed by Captain America, who was taking no chances and decapitated his corpse as it was burning in the sun. The Ultimates verse was one of savagery and people getting their heads bitten off. Repeatedly. Number 3. The Justice League of Earth 43. This universe branches off of the events of Batman Red Reign, which we're getting to. The Cliff Notes version, Batman is a vampire who's trying to take down Dracula. The DC Dracula, not the Marvel Dracula or the Bram Stoker Dracula. Dracula's everywhere. In this universe, he turned the entire Justice League into vampires too, and they formed the Blood League, which is just a fantastic name. Get it together, Vampire Avengers. These vampires even took to space, driven by their lust for blood, entering into war with the planet Ran. However, when they attempted to invade Earth 13, an occult Earth, a witch cursed them, or cured them depending upon how you look at it. They turned their lust for blood into a coffee lust. What are they now? The Coffee League? The Grind League? The Brew League? That sounds like they only drink beer. It's all ruined now. Number 2. Batwoman, Future's End. Okay, so Future's End is about Batman Beyond traveling back in time to try and prevent the apocalypse, or the Future's End. In this timeline, Catherine Kane was turned into a vampire, most likely by Nocturna, who has had an intriguing history all of her own, which includes being banned from the Batman animated TV series. The reason? Because being a vampire would involve bloodletting and showing blood, which at the time in the early 90s was not allowed on network television for kids. Oh, how times have changed. Like many a turned vampire, Catherine could not control the lust for blood and turn on the people she was sworn to protect. She was staked by her twin sister Beth. This was a concept that probably came about because of our number 1. When people think about vampire heroes, this is usually what they're thinking about. Number 1. Batman. He's bookending our list at the end and the beginning. This Batman comes to us from the Batman vs. Dracula trilogy that came out in the early 90s, actually all throughout it. They consisted of Red Reign in 1991, Bloodstorm in 1994, and Crimson Mist in 1998. In this series, the Dark Knight must take on Dracula. In this process, he learns that Dracula's minions are immune to him. So the Dark Knight sets up a trap, luring all the vampires to Wayne Manor and the Batcave, which he then destroys, killing them, except for Dracula. He then has a battle with him that ends with him staked to a tree, and Batman being turned into a vampire. He is then called the Vampire Knight. However, this arc proved so popular that there were sequels that were bigger and bolder with more heroes and villains turned into vampires, such as Catwoman and the Joker. This series is really worth a read and also gives us some great imagery. It plays so well with the early fan theories and headcanons people had about Batman being an actual creature of the night. It all fits so well with his mythos and motif. This one is a fun one, and Red Reign comes up often when playing with alternate universes. It's a classic. So, vampires, yes, I know they're played out for a lot of people, but they'll never be played out for me. Like Amanda, I too read Anne Rice at an age that was probably far too young. Let me know your favorite vampiric character down below. Branch out, it doesn't have to be a superhero. I just want to hear about vampires. I genuinely love these alternate versions and I hope you do too, so let me know any other alternates you'd like to hear down below. I'm Sasha and thanks so much for watching Top 10 Nerd. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and check out more of our lists. We have so many. Fun, silly, spoilery, serious, we have it all. We'll see you all again soon here on Top 10 Nerd. Bye!